Hi folks, welcome to your mwis Friday Planner in association with Ellis Brigham. I hope your long weekend is going well so far. We have some very good weather in store across the Highlands through this weekend. There is the threat of some rain further to the south though. The outlook for the week ahead gets a little bit more mixed, eventually likely becoming fairly unsettled for most places. Let's deal with the short term first of all. We have high pressure which will be centred across the northern half of Britain through this Saturday, giving a fair weather story across Scotland and much of northern England as well. There's low pressure which lies toward the south. We have easterly winds then for the Pennines, strongest toward the Peak District and across Wales, where very gusty and may well touch gale force in one or two spots, particularly across mid and south Wales. Some very difficult walking conditions on the higher hills in this part of the world, and here also the threat of some rain just pushing in from the south, that just running northwards and westwards across Wales. Some heavier bursts could well be mixed in. Mostly clear skies and a lot of sunshine though across the Highlands. A bit of fair weather cloud just coming in during the day, maybe some coastal fog patches just drifting around in one or two spots. Cloudier skies further south, and there is the risk of some rain just encroaching into South Wales. That, as mentioned, trying to go northwards and westwards. Still a bit of uncertainty just how far north and west that zone of rain is. A few showers over the Midlands may just fringe into the Peak District, and a few of those just getting a bit further north over Wales, but may well be fading out to just maybe a few spots of rain across North Wales. Always the risk though of catching just a localised heavier shower. Taking the story onwards into Saturday night and Sunday, the next batch of thundery rain comes into the south of Britain, and that a more extensive feature is likely to become widespread across central England and Wales as we go through into Sunday daytime. Increasingly wet for the Peak District, I suspect, for Sunday, as that belt of rain just pivots around and sets in here. Rain also for much of Wales, that could be a bit more on and off, but some heavier bursts, some thundery bursts could well be in the story. Bit of uncertainty how far north that rain goes. Much of the Lake District and North Pennines could get away with a dry day, but the threat of some rain pushing up from the south and turning heavy as we go through the afternoon into the evening. Once more, the Highlands stay dry. Some high cloud pushing northwards ahead of those rain systems, but overall it's another fine day for much of Scotland. Still got brisk easterly winds around as well for northern England. Light winds for a good part of Scotland though. Sunshine aplenty and temperatures pleasantly warm. Touch of frost though overnight in a few glens where skies are clear. Now, great uncertainty what happens to that rain system over England and Wales later on Sunday. It's a slowly weakening zone of low pressure, but the remnants of a front could just still be circulating around. So the risk of some rain and some low cloud and rather murky conditions in place still here into Monday, slowly I suspect diminishing and some drier conditions emerging. Much of northern Britain across the far north of England and across Scotland should still stay dry with some sunshine, a bit of broken cloud, low risk of an isolated shower and barely an isobar on the chart, suggesting very light winds here. We're stuck in what we call a col as we go into Tuesday, really between all the weather features, and still not a great deal of wind, maybe just starting to freshen from the south across western Scotland. One or two localised showers could just pop up as some warmth and humidity just gets into the picture. Remnants of moisture from previous days could just be enough to get one or two showers going, but many places could still get away with a largely dry and bright day. Temperatures then pleasantly warm. Atlantic weather systems, though, are starting to move in, and that's the story as we head onwards through the middle of the week and beyond, that frontal systems from the southwest are expected to push their way into Britain, and that will give the risk of some rain or some showers. The extent of this on Wednesday is uncertain, so don't take this chart too literally, but that risk of some rain developing and the wind turning to the south to southwest. So we do have a few weather systems gearing up over the Atlantic through the middle of the week. Low pressure centred to the northwest of us and several other centres of low pressure trying to develop then over the mid-Atlantic, and a strengthening jet stream pattern is expected to move in. Uncertainty just how this pattern plays out, but the threat is there of a deeper area of low pressure arriving as we go toward the later stages of the week. That would bring strong winds, even gales, pretty widely across the mountains, and the threat of some heavy rain, followed by frequent showers. Pretty unsettled then later in the week as we go through Thursday into Friday. Southwesterly winds dominating, And I suspect that westerly pattern will continue onwards into the weekend. So rather unsettled, frequent rain and showers, maybe something a bit drier further to the south with higher pressure over central southern England and Wales. But for more northern regions, quite a reversal of fortunes as low pressure is in charge. In terms of temperatures, some warm and humid air could get drawn in from the southwest for a time, but as the pattern turns around more to the west or northwest, it will then turn cooler, probably into next weekend. It is quite common to see these Atlantic weather systems returning with some strength as we go into early June, and that seems to be the theme over the next week or so. Some high pressure trying to build up from the south, and we need to watch if that can make any headway further northwards, but the high that we've seen to the north is removing itself from the scene later on in the week. Heading through the middle of the month, and high pressure looks to be just to the south of Britain, low pressure somewhere just to the west of us, so southwesterly winds would prevail, maybe turning to a warmer flow from the south at times, and it just then depends whether the low pressure or the high pressure is nearer to us in terms of how settled or unsettled we go further into the month. I suspect for a while some rain systems out to the west will threaten. All your local information for the next 3 days ahead, as always, on our website. That is your Friday planner in association with Ellis Brigham. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.